What's up guys, Julian here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to synthesize powerful, hard-hitting EBM drums from scratch. We're going to be using just synthesis to make the entire drums here. Everything you heard in the intro I'm going to be breaking down. To go along this video, I just dropped my new EBM drum synthesis template. The link is at the top of the description. For just $5, you get this awesome template that you can use to synthesize your own drums from scratch and get going quickly. Again, it's at the top of the description. I put a ton of work into this, and it's got everything you need so you can learn from it. And like I said, just make some of your own drums quickly from scratch. It's really cool for this style. There's a lot of synthesized drums, and this is the best synthesis template on the market I've seen. Definitely go grab it. Link is at the top of the description. Thank you for the support, guys. Enjoy. Let me know how you like it, and let's dive in. Alright, so this is what you heard in the intro. And we're going to start with synthesizing the kick. I think if you can get a good kick, all this other stuff will come together. Like if I just had these without a good kick, it wouldn't be the same. So the kick is made with the operator. I'll turn off the effects and just show you what we're getting straight out of the synth. So you can see the main focus here is getting a good sound out of the synth. And I think that's the first thing. This isn't about over-processing. The processing just does a little bit, as you can see. But we're starting with a solid sound here. So what we're doing is it's sine waves. We've got one sine wave here, which sounds like this. Right? We're using this envelope where I've turned up the attack, but the initial is turned off all the way, so it's starting at 0 dB, and you get kind of like this held out note, and then it decays down. And that's going to give you a lot more punch for your kick than if it's just like short like that. So that's the first thing. Then we're doing a bit of FM from this really short sine wave, which you can see adds like a click, and that's up a few octaves. We've got a little bit from this even shorter sine wave, which is just a tiny bit more click. And then comes the pitch envelope. And you can see that's what really makes the kick. Now, the secret to synthesizing a kick is basically a two-part pitch envelope. And that's what we're able to do here with operator, with this initial here. We can set the attack. And we can have that be like its own kind of like nice full punchy hit like that. And then it can decay down really quickly. Now, if you make the attack too short, and then also the decay, see how it kind of just becomes like, you don't want that. And that's why you want that attack. Because that's going to give you that boom, boom, like really boomy, fat, full punch. And that's what you want. That's really the secret to this. And then if we bring up, you'll also notice the pitch envelope amount is really important. Like if we bring it up any more, it kind of starts to lose, the kick. And if you do any less, same deal. So you really just want to set that and really take your time, like just put it up one by one. As you can see, even that will make a huge difference. Then we're just doing, so this is just like a subcut at 23 hertz. It can make it a bit more punchy and kind of lift it. We're using a little bit of drum bus, which is good for these synthesized drums because it can really take them away from sounding like synthesized and make them sound a bit more like a drum. So without it, with it. Now the secret to this is you only want a little bit. The dry wet is at 11%. So here's without it. And then with it. It's still the same sound with it. It's just a little bit more. And a bit more full as well. And then we're just converting it to mono because sometimes EQ8 can mess that up a little bit. So that's the kick. So I always start with the kick. And I think if you get that, especially if you have a bass line like this, just get those working and the rest of your drums will come together. Then we have the clap. So there it is with no reverb. And this is all synthesized. The way we're doing this is it's 2 layers. There's a punch. And then there's like some noise. So for the punch, what we're doing, here's what it sounds like, just completely dry. So we're literally creating this, like this boom. Inside of operator, it's a sine wave with a little bit of FM from another sine wave. And then a pitch envelope, you can see the same deal as what I was talking about with the kick, where it's a 2-part pitch envelope. And if you use, if you don't use the attack, you're not going to get the same thing, or if you set the decay different. So we have that set very meticulously. And then we have a high pass filter. Then we're adding this hybrid reverb, which just gives it a little bit of room. We're high passing it, very important, because now it's just the punch without all the bass. And then converting it to mono, since this is like the punch. So that's the punch and the noise layer, but without any of the processing. And then so the noise layer on its own. So this is really simple. It's literally just a little bit of white noise, with a slight low pass on it with an envelope to kind of make it punchy. And then we're cutting out the lows with EQ3. But what we're doing here, the secret is you're going to have this layer. That just punches right, straight through. And then this noise, if you notice, the attack is a little tiny bit up. It's like the slightest bit to get up. And it kind of like slides into it like that. That is the secret to the snare, is having the punch and then the noise a second after. And I figured that out by listening to snare drums. That's how it works. You get the and then the after. So then we have on both of those, we have this erosion. Just a little bit of noise. Drum bus, which you can see does a lot. Definitely makes it sound very much like a drum. And then we have some overdrive. Adds like that last push. A high pass filter. And there we go. You have yourself a synth snare. And then I also put it through this reverb send, which is sidechain, so it kind of like bounces off of that nicely. Then we have these synthesized hi-hats. Dry, these sound like this. They're very simple sounds. Hi-hats, it's usually just a bit of noise. Like this one is just analog with a bit of noise and then a high-pass filter. That's it, and then just a short envelope. And then this one, it's noise with a bandpass filter. So again, just very simple, creating this pattern. But then what's complicated and what, where it really becomes interesting is how you bring that to life. So what we're doing here is I've got this spectral resonator, kind of adding this like loop underneath them. And now all of a sudden, they have so much life and they feel so like, not just like noise, but like a real part of the mix. And you can hear they're also filling out the drums because it's not just like high end. You're also getting some. We've got a high pass on that, and then it's being sidechained. And then the last layer of synth drums down here is these two. So the first is just a bit of noise with a bit of attack, but then it's got the spectral time kind of creating that like crazy swoosh afterwards. And then this bell. So this is actually made with tension. And it's kind of like this dissonant bell sound. Right? It's just going through a bit of delay. And then we're distorting it. Here's without distortion. Then we turn it into that. We're high passing it. And then those are just being sidechained with a little bit of drum bus on the group. And yeah, so that is how you synthesize EBM drums from scratch. That is going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, the entire template for synthesizing these really high quality EBM drums from scratch. It's available at the top of the description. Don't sleep. Grab it while it's still available. This is one of the best templates on the market, and I promise it's going to take your tracks to the next level today, plus give you something really high quality to make the best tracks of your life moving forward. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. I don't really make a whole lot off of YouTube, but with these templates and stuff, I'm able to keep going, and every little bit helps. So, thank you so much for the support, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.